All right. Well, I will kick things off. Welcome everyone to the Beam Benefits Enrollment Roundtable. We have a great group of panelists set up for you today. We want you to come away from this webinar learning the best way to support your clients going into open enrollment and busy season. And we want you to learn how Beam can help you grow your business and better support your clients going into Q4. All right, some housekeeping items. If you have any questions, put them in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. If you move your icon or move your mouse, you'll be able to see this little chat icon. We want you to ask any and all questions that come up. We'll pause throughout to get those addressed. We'll also have time at the end to address Q&A as well. All right, well, I'll hand things off to Afton. Afton, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are in the world today, right? Sorry, my screen is not showing our presentation, Sarah, for me. My apologies. Give me 1 second here. What was that, Sarah?
Carrie and Ray, are you able to see our slides?
Yes.
Okay, great. Afton, I'll make sure to get you the link separately. Why don't we, while you're doing that, just go around and do a little introduction for everyone here on the call. I'm Sarah Taylor. I run B2B marketing for Beam. I'll be in the background answering questions and moving our slides along. Go ahead, Carrie, do you want to do a little intro?
Sure. I'm Carrie Brown. I'm the client and member marketing manager. I work with the client success team.
Hi, and my name is Ray Avalos. I'm a deal desk manager here at Beam. I work on the sales side of things, so we're excited to talk with you all today.
Afton, you are on mute.
I was just saying it wouldn't be a virtual meeting without some sort of technical snafu, right? So I guess I'm the lucky one today. But as Sarah mentioned, my name is Afton McElhenney. I'm the manager of our client success team, and I also manage our enrollments team, which is why we're here today. And there are beautiful faces.
All right. So let's jump into a welcome and overview and a little bit about who Beam is and why we're here today. So some of you on this call may know us as Beam Dental. We have evolved and we continue to grow. So we're actually rebranded as Beam Benefits. So what does that mean? We have an expanded product portfolio. So you come to know us from of course, our dental offering and our vision offering. But now we've expanded that offering to life options, vol life options, disability options, also sub-health options. So those are your accident plans, hospital indemnities, things like that. So with that said, bare bones, I mean, we are an insurance provider. We offer best in class plans that are tailored to your clients. And at the same time, we're here to help you with that offering. But beyond that, we really take a smart approach when it comes to the delivery of our products, and then also our wellness and technology focus. So first, you'll know we're definitely digitally native. So everything we do is tech focused. But I do want to reiterate that we're not force feeding the tech. We do believe in our tech, and it's going to make your life extremely easy. But at the same time, we do have the people power behind it. So I think our culture and the people really, really drive that because we care about the products that we deliver. So we really want to delight you through the whole entire process. So from the quoting process to the implementation process to the enrollment process, that's where we really want to deliver. And I mean, Beam's been around for quite some time, and that's the feedback that we get, that we are extremely easy to work with. And we want to take your feedback as well. So as we progress and as we start working together, please give us your feedback because we're always looking to how we could fit to your needs. We know that it's not, a one size fits all. So we definitely take a customized approach to the way that we work with you, your clients, and of course, even on the member side as well. But with that said, I want to touch on our wellness piece as well. Of course, we have our dental and our product side, we have our tech side, but we really take a different approach to the preventative side of things. So we provide all members a free electric toothbrush. These are manufactured by Beam. Pretty much we're providing members the tools to stay in control of their oral health. I like to kind of describe them as a Fitbit for your teeth. You could track your oral brushing habits and things of that nature. It's app connected. I won't go too deep in the weeds, but we have a really strong tech tools where our app will really give members and brokers anything they need at their fingertips. So really cool tech side of thing and a kind of a wellness approach. So I'll leave it at that, and then we'll really hop into what we're here for today, which is the enrollment side.
Yeah, so Ray, it sounds like Beam has all of the tools to execute a successful open enrollment and beyond, right? So I'd love to dig into that a little bit more here. But before we do that, I think we need to look at the why. So Carrie, if you could give us some insights into why members decline to enroll in dental and ancillary benefits.
It's a great question, Afton. And when we initially started looking into why we weren't getting 100% enrollments, we turned into our research team to kind of help us out. First thoughts were, is this a financial barrier? Are they not able to, afford a premium if that weren't having employer contributions? But we conducted a survey to sort of get some more answers, get more data behind it. And we found that 40% of the employees who were declining this dental insurance, they didn't have their mind made up when they were entering the open enrollment period. So with that data, we knew that there was just this tremendous opportunity to influence a large number of these potential employees or members. So, as a broker, the reason that this is so important is that it just gives a great illustration of how we need to focus heavily on the number one reasons that the employees did not enroll, which is that they need more information. And you can see here in this diagram, or in this graph here, that there is a large amount of people that they just agreed that if they had had more information, that would have persuaded them to enroll. So big takeaway here for brokers, how we need to make sure that how we're communicating these benefits is what really matters. And we call this the communication gap. And we learned that we could possibly gain back 25% of the employees who had declined if we just provided them education in a way that resonated with them. And what that really means is we don't want to be heavy on the insurance speak. We want to make sure that we're giving the potential plan member an understanding of the value of the benefits so that they're just encouraged to enroll. So what we did is that we leaned heavily into refining our messaging. We speak in clear terms. When customers don't understand terms like coinsurance, deductible, endodontics, periodontics, they're more likely to decline dental insurance, for example. We also want to connect to real life. We talk about our insurance in a way that addresses their problems and their needs. And then we show the value. We make it easy for a member to determine what they receive when they enroll with Beam. So for example, preventative care. This is the foundation of our Beam plans. And we want to let the members know that when they're going to that in-network dentist for a checkup, they will have that zero out-of-pocket costs for the visit. So we're making that correlation. We're showing them what they get when they're paying their monthly premium. So this whole messaging, it really helped us change and refine how we deliver it. And that came from a digital, verbal, print standpoint. And it just has helped us communicate and connect to employees to our offerings that, when looking at enrollment, just wasn't even really an option for them. Sorry, that was a lot.
We love all the information, Carrie.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, communicate. That's a thing I think with communication is when people don't get it, they don't get it. And so, you have to find multiple different kinds of ways to reach them. I mean, we're in a technology age. Some people are more visual. Some people want to be reading things, some people like that that in-person hand-to-hand touch for information. So, and I think too, just, again, to like really drive it home, we really changed kind of how we are, the language that we are using to make sure that is just really easy to access, really simple to understand, so that can reach any member from, kind of a beginner insurance, someone who's more new to insurance, to someone who's more advanced.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Carrie. We all know that communication is key to success in pretty much everything we do in life, right? So closing that education gap is vitally important, especially during open enrollment when members are learning about their benefits, or maybe this is the first time that they've even been introduced into benefits. They don't know how it works, or what the importance is. They think they don't need it, things like that. So like I said, I think you really hit the nail on the head here with that, and why it's so important for open enrollment period. And then we have, throughout this time, I think Sarah mentioned it a little bit earlier, we're going to do some polls. So this is our first one. How exciting. In general, at what group size would you expect to receive enrollment support? So when you pull up the poll, you'll see a few different options that you can select, and there it is. It is multiple choice, so you can pick several, and then we'll give everybody a little bit of time to pull that up and make their choices, and then we will share the answers of those.
While those answers are coming through, seeing those come through, thank you. Wanted to make sure you all knew we'll be sending out these slides and also the recording for today as well. So you can email from us tomorrow with all the good information we covered.
And there are no wrong answers. So don't be afraid. Choose all the answers if you want. Perfect. I'll give you a little insight, before we dug into enrollments and I kind of got into the nitty-gritty here. If I were posed this question, I would think it would be really large groups, right? I'm thinking like hundreds of lives to get that really white glove service. And what we're seeing here is kind of a mixed bag. So a little bit across the board, groups of all sizes seems to be the winner of this poll. So fortunately for you, Beam does that for all of our group sizes. We do not have a minimum requirement on how large the group needs to be. We firmly believe that groups of all sizes should get the same experience. So thank you for taking that poll. There will be a couple more, so get used to that poll function. I would love to give you just a high-level overview of what our enrollments team does. We'll get into some more specifics later on. We've talked a little bit about why enrollments are important, what may be holding members back from enrolling in benefits. But again, would love to show you our process and how it actually works, and how we can bring value to not only you as the broker, but to your members as well. So we have a dedicated enrollments team of very talented enrollment specialists that work in tandem with brokers and group admins to fully customize the enrollment process for their employees. So we can get engaged as early as you would like us to. It doesn't have to be within a certain time frame of effective date. If you have a group that you want to chat about a little early on, maybe even before the group has made a final decision, that might be a differentiator for the group. We'd be more than happy to engage early. Typically speaking though, our enrollments kickoff occurs within 1 week of getting the verbal commitment that the group is moving forward with Beam. And then that kickoff typically includes the broker, the group admin, obviously the Beam team, your enrollment specialists, your MDE, if you're lucky enough to have Ray as one of your salespeople. He might be on the call with his lovely smile there. And then we'll again get into specifics on how that works later on. But ultimately, Beam is here to support your organization's enrollment period from start to finish, right? We want to make sure your clients and their employees get the most value out of their benefits. Perfect. And I think that we have another poll. How exciting. So if you can, just for a second, I know I put a lot of information out there, but if you could kind of pause and close your eyes and imagine going through that process that I just explained. So imagine a high touch, white glove service that works in tandem with you and the group, fully customized enrollment process for their employees. And then if that's the experience that you got, how much of an increase in enrollments over the incumbent carrier would you expect? This one is only a single choice, so you can only choose one. We'll give everybody a couple of seconds to get their answers in. And if anyone's having issue locating where the poll is, just put it in the chat. We'll have someone direct you that way. All right, here are our results. So I think you guys are right. Like the majority of the people are saying 15+%. Shortly behind is 10 to 14%. You're pretty much right on the money. So what we've seen here at Beam is that when our enrollments team is engaged with the broker group, and we are seeing 15 or more % lift in enrollments from the incumbent carrier, which is really exciting. I think that's a super strong message that we can work together, support each other and our members through the enrollments process. And when we do that, we see amazing results. And amazing results benefit all of us, right? And I would love for Ray to kind of give some of his insights here. Could you tell us a little bit more about how the enrollments experience can benefit not only our groups, but our broker partners as well?
Yeah, definitely. So I think, as you alluded to before, I think the biggest thing is engagement and communication, as you said. And we start that not just when the group is enrolling. We do that from the kickoff, right? Right when you know that a group is moving to Beam, our team will engage with you on what we call a kickoff call. And, we want to be as hands-on as you want us to be. So let us know how we can fit into, what we have going on with your current client, and we'll do it with that process. So one thing that we do right off the get-go that's, is we provide all the collateral and material. Then we decide how do you want to handle open enrollment? Will that be on-site? Will it be virtual? Will it be a mixture of both? Would you like us to be out there and provide a presentation, whether that's in the form of, of course, going over the benefits in detail and clearly spelling them out, as Carrie was mentioning, but then also showing our add value approach when it comes to wellness. We want really people to really know what they're getting with Beam, both from the tech side, but then also the wellness side, because we want them, to be in control of their oral health, like I was mentioning. So just little things like that. Another thing I want to mention is we are tech forward. So we know in today's day and age, EDI is a huge talking point. I wanted to let you know that we're extremely knowledgeable when it comes to the EDI side of things. So we have a dedicated EDI team. We have feeds set up with several of your Ben admin partners as well already in-house. So we can facilitate any of those file feeds as well. So like I said, we just want to be as involved as we can, just to make sure we're really driving that enrollment, which, at the end of the day, the higher in the enrollment, hopefully the more money that's coming on your commission check month over month. So something that we want to add there.
Yeah, really appreciate your insight there, Ray. I will ditto everything Ray just said, and add a few little things, kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of the enrollments process and what our strategy is. So our enrollment specialists obviously reach out, like I said, once that verbal commit comes in. It happens pretty quickly. We say a week, it's more like a day, to be honest with you. They're very engaged, very excited. It's really the group's most exciting time at Beam, right? They're right on board. They're excited to get going. They're ready. Everything's great. And we really just want to wow them. And that's what our enrollment specialists do really well. And then the group admin will obviously receive their onboarding kit, their welcome packet with all of the information that they may need. They may also be on the call with the Beam team and you all as the broker, if you so choose. We love talking to group admins. We really want to position ourselves as partners with you all. We want to work in tandem. We want to take some of the weight off of you all. We don't expect you to be experts in Beam. That's what we're here for. So please lean on us to be the expert there. there and really take this through to the finish line. And then we do a final touch point before enrollment really begins and kicks off, just to make sure we are good to go, that all the loose ends have been tied up and we're ready to get in front of the group. And then of course, enrollment begins. So whether that's enrolling through our platform, Lighthouse, or enrolling through one of our digital platforms like Ease, we make it very simple. And obviously our enrollment specialists are always here to help guide you through that process and how that works. And then we like to do a midpoint check-in just to, again, make sure everything's going well. These are typically emails. We're not going to be scheduling 10 calls with you in 1 week or anything like that. And then once enrollment closes, we're all set to go. And then our client success team takes it from there. Okay.
All right. So yeah. So we want to improve your enrollment experience to better satisfy our clients and potentially earn more commission, as I was mentioning. So, you know, we're doing that with the engagement and increasing enrollment. Next slide, please.
So I think, Ray, I think what you were alluding to is enrollments really helps commissions, right? At the end of the day, the more enrollments you get, the more commissions the broker gets. And we all love to see extra money in our paycheck. So if we can really drive enrollments and get those commissions up for the broker, that's going to be our sweet spot. Does that feel right to you, Ray?
Yeah, correct. Totally.
Yeah. I feel like when you talk to brokers, that's what they're really jazzed about when they see enrollments come in 15+%. They're excited about the commission check they're about to see from Beam. I'm sure that as you all sit back and listen to us, you're thinking, this feels a little too good to be true, right? Like, how is that possible? Where are you getting this from? Is this just an anecdote that you're trying to sell us? Well, fortunately for you, it's not just an anecdote. We have some data to back that up. And I believe that Carrie and Ray are going to walk us through some case studies, which are really exciting. It'll show you some actual groups that we have worked with fairly recently and what their process was going through enrollments and what the results were.
Yeah, I'll jump right in here and then I'll pass it over to Ray. But I think that when you look at these case studies, the number one takeaway for our brokers to have is that Beam is your partner. We are here as an extension of your service. And this is the illustration that kind of shows you how you can drive that enrollment. So Ray, why don't you take it away?
Perfect. Yeah, so we're going to drive that enrollment, of course, with our engagement and communication. That's the whole theme of what we have going on here. So in this case study here, this is a municipality in Indiana, 90% contribution. So a group like this, I mean, this is just a really home run, a drive up enrollment, but we found that the incumbent only had 48% of enrollment. And for a group of 90% employer contribution, that seems a bit low. So, you know, our enrollment specialists were fully engaged on this case from start to finish, from the kickoff through until the implementation. And we were able to drive this up with a 40% increase to 90% of enrollment on this case, which is fantastic. And which is a number that we expect. If a group, you know, is running over 90% in contribution, that should be, like I said, that should be a home run, you know, to really drive up that enrollment for you and your group. And here's another case study. So we're finding that, you know, with today's day and age, and especially with medical really kind of driving the benefit decisions, that some employers are now going voluntary on, you know, all of their other product lines, specifically with dental. So this is a manufacturing company out of Pennsylvania with a zero contribution. So it's a voluntary group. The incumbent enrollment was 28%. So for a voluntary case, that's actually, you know, that's actually pretty decent. That's pretty much right around ballpark what you're looking for. Again, this case, Beam had full engagement from the beginning. Our MDEs, our enrollment specialists were there right from the beginning. And we had an extra lift on that of 22%, which gave us a 50% enrollment for this overall enrollment. So again, more money in your pocket here to the theme of more commission. This is what the story that told as well. So And then we have and this is a little bit more common, kind of similar to case study one. This is a group in California that I actually worked on. So I know a little bit about what's going on with this one. So it had an 80% contribution. We were enrolled, we were on site. So it was a multi-location. We were on site for this company. And it was awesome. We just had significant engagement, one from going over the product details from the plan standpoint. But what we found is that employees really love the tools that we offer. And with that, we were able to increase enrollment by 40%. The total enrollment was 68%, where currently it was only 28%. So again, a big lift. Again, I've said it 5 times, but engagement and communication. And again, we have the people power and the people that believe in the product to really, deliver that communication. All right. And there's kind of the look at all 3 of them there.
All right, so I think we're going to get into the discussion and Q&A portion of the session. As your questions come in, we will field those questions. So please feel free to ask in the chat.
Great. Well, Afton, we've already had 2 similar questions come in, so I'll start with those. So either you or Carrie or Ray, where can brokers go to find our up-to-date underwriting guidelines? Where can they pull that info?
Perfect. I'll take that one. So if you have a sales rep, we could provide that for you, or you could just email us directly, and we'll provide that to you. We also have a broker resource center, which houses underwriting guidelines as well as many other marketing collateral that you'll need from just a day-to-day, communication standpoint to a sales standpoint as well. So yeah, those are probably the 2 best.
And we will make sure to send that link to you all to our document center after the call. Again, we'll send out all of that to you. All right. Good question about the case studies that has come in. So tell us a little about the size of the groups in the case studies. Could you walk us through a little bit, and I can go back to that slide for us all?
Yeah, sure. So for the municipality in Indiana, I believe it was over, I know it was well over 500 employees. Do you guys have more data on that, Afton?
Yeah, I believe it was over 1,000, right? I think it was just over 1,000.
So it was a large municipality. Again, of course, on a group like that, we would definitely want to be highly engaged, but that was definitely on the larger side.
Yeah, actually.
Sorry, Carrie, you just went on mute. Want to say that again for us?
Yeah, sorry, it was just over 2,400 employees.
Even better.
Yeah.
And the feedback was extremely well on that. I know that it went so well that the broker even had a testimonial with us because the enrollment process was so favorable, and both from the employee standpoint, which that's what really matters. That's what keeps the broker happy. And that's what keeps Beam happy as well. We definitely want happy members. So that's something that we're proud of, and feedback that we take serious as well. And do you guys want to speak to the Pennsylvania one, maybe Carrie or Afton? I know that's.
Yes, our groups, the employer in Pennsylvania, that was a little bit closer to 500 employees, and then the California transportation group was just over 100.
And we wanted to give you a variety, right? We didn't want to show you all similar groups of similar sizes and SIC codes and locations. So really wanted to provide kind of a mixed bag so you can see that these results are happening across the board, not just with one particular cohort of groups.
All right, super, great answer. Okay, so a question about our collateral. Do we have any Spanish language employee facing materials that we can provide groups?
Yeah, That's a really great question. Look at all of us chomping at the bit to answer because we're so excited about this. We do have some written collateral in Spanish, our benefit summaries and things like that. We can also offer some enrollment support in Spanish. We do offer some office hours and things like that. So that is always a possibility. But as far as written things, we have benefit summaries. And Ray, you could chime in here if we have anything above and beyond that.
No, but as I mentioned, your feedback is very valued. So please let us know what types of documentations and what type of communication that you want. And we'll definitely lean in with our product team to try to get some stuff done for you.
All right, we're getting a lot of great questions coming in about our state-by-state coverage. We do have a one-pager on our Broker Resource Center. I'll make sure to toss it in our chat for you all as well. But you can go to that site. It has all of our broker-facing resources you can use for your own personal purposes, but also share it with your groups if they have questions about what lines we offer in which state. And it walks you through, I believe we're live in at least 43 states. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, but those are all there on our Broker Resource Center, and I will send you that link. Okay, great. Can you, and I know this is a question, Ray, that you touched on earlier, so I'll have you take this one. What are the kind of top leading benefit admin platforms that we partner with? Can you give us a couple examples of EDI partners we work with and how easy it is to set groups up on those?
Yes. So I'm going to be a little biased to California, but I'll name a few that I know are definitely across the country that I've worked with personally. So we have Ease and Employee Navigator, which are, some of our top partners. We actually have direct EDI feeds with them. But I do want to mention too, if you do not have the connectivity feed set up, we will still take in those feeds, and our EDI team will work with you to, to take that 834 file and actually implement it into our system. So very easy process there. But beyond that, in some of your large group spaces, we have had plenty of experience with Paylocity, ADP, things of that nature. So Flock, which is another one out here in California. So I don't want to say we can work with them all, but most carriers, I think, I'm talking EDI feed carriers, we've been able to have connectivity with. So let us know, and then we'll loop in our EDI team just to, get things where they need to be. And so it's been a great experience. That's one thing that I think the feedback has been, as of course, we have all these cool tech tools, but the way that we're able to integrate is kind of the talking point here. Sometimes you're just waiting for, the carrier, the incumbent carrier, or you're waiting for, the incumbent EDI feed where, we have the know-how and the knowledge behind that to really push that along and, make that process much quicker.
Thank you so much. Afton or Carrie, anything else you'd add there before I jump into our next question?
Ray nailed it, per usual.
Per usual, great, love it. All right. So I sent the link to our Broker Resource Center. It's in the chat for you all. So any questions about the lines we offer in which states, that'll be your go-to resource. This is a great question. Can we get marketing materials with weekly or bi-weekly rates for our clients?
Great question. We do the monthly rates. So we don't have a rate sheet that has bi-weekly, but we do have the rate sheet that has monthly. And we can share that with you at any point for any of the policies. And yeah, I think that was pretty straightforward, right?
Absolutely. And I know Carrie has done a lot of work too on both HR admin and member facing marketing materials. Carrie, do you want to touch quickly on like our enrollments packet that we can provide as well around open enrollment time?
Absolutely. So for the group admins, we have a packet that really draws attention to the overall process of how their experience at Beam will be with all of the EDI parts of that process, and then working in Lighthouse, how to assist their members in getting enrolled into the mobile app or our website app, and then also getting the free Beam brush when enrolling into perks. for the member facing, we also have a packet that dives deep into the value of how their benefits will help them, and what they will be receiving for the cost of their premiums. And then also talks a lot about just the overall process, again, of enrolling into the app, getting their perks, getting registered for perks, and what they get for their benefits.
And one thing I want to add in there, so with the Lighthouse portal, of course, even if you're using ease and things of that nature, we do encourage members to go into that portal. There's a lot of really cool stuff that are just right at the members' fingertips. So of course, if you need EOBs, which are huge, those are accessed real time. So any types of claims information. If you, which I like is really cool, is pre-treatment estimates. So, my wife, she was getting Invisalign last year, and she went and got 3 different estimates, and they showed up in our app. So really cool stuff. And then back to, we do not provide rate sheets bi-weekly. However, when the member logs in, so based on the contribution, it'll actually calculate that cost for them on their Lighthouse member portal as well. So, which is pretty cool. So I'm not sure if that solves, the worksheet question that you had, but, that's another way that they could find out what that cost is.
And if this is something that's coming up during the open enrollment process, for example, if you would like the enrollments team to do a video for the group specific to their coverage, we can actually absolutely display the biweekly coverage in that slide deck and presentation. Just as a standard, we don't have it biweekly, we have it monthly.
Great, thank you. All right, so because you're just touching on claims, this next question is super relevant. So how easy is the claims process from start to finish?
That's a great question. If you don't mind, I'll take the lead on this one. So our claims process is pretty straightforward, especially from, excuse me, from a provider perspective. So most providers are really used to going into a portal or submitting a claim. Funny enough, a lot of them do it over fax. I actually, fun fact, I'm also a registered dental hygienist, so I know way too much about faxing claims to insurance carriers. But we have all of the options. So whether it's faxing or doing it through our portal, submitting it digitally or submitting it by paper, we can do all of those things. So pretty easy process. And then, as Ray mentioned, the members can see their claims come through in real time and can see the status updates on those.
Wonderful. We have another question here. This one is more about Beam perks. You all have touched on our toothbrush. So give us a little more detail on the Beam brush and also the additional wellness perks that we offer to members.
Perfect. I guess I'll take this one. So when all members are enrolled, again, like I said from the beginning, bare bones, we are an insurance carrier. So if they just want to take the insurance piece, that's fine. But we do encourage them to use our wellness tools. So when members enroll, they'll receive a welcome email, and they'll have the option to opt into what we call Beam perks. So from there, the employee and any of their enrolled dependents will have the opportunity to choose a toothbrush. So the toothbrush comes in 3 different colors. It comes in blue, neon, and pink. I have a neon one, which I love. And as I mentioned, it's app connected. So the brush will still work without app connectivity at just standard settings, but we do encourage to connect it to the app because they can actually, they could track their oral brushing habits, and it'll keep them honest and keep them brushing. If you're like a track your steps and calories guy like I am, you'll love this. But beyond that, you can actually earn points. So we're really saying, okay, here's a toothbrush. Now it's up to you to brush your teeth and really, take that wellness and kind of take that approach of, taking ownership out, I like to put it. So from there, you can earn points in our app, and you can purchase products out of the Beam shop in our app. So you can purchase replacement brush heads, additional toothpaste, additional floss, so things of that nature. But again, at the beginning, we'll provide you the tools that you need to get a head start. I think the ADA recommends that you change your brush heads every 3 months. We have it on a cadence where you could actually earn enough points in well under 3 months. So it's not like you're going to be using old brush heads. And if you just don't want to use our points, you could actually purchase brush heads in our app for $6. And I mean, that's well under retail value if you're going to Costco and Targets and things of that nature. So something that we think is a really cool feature.
Thank you so much. All right. So we've gotten a lot of great questions also on the underwriting guidelines. We'll be sure to follow up on this with everyone. We'll send you some resources on that. Also, a great point of resource for you, really in this example for finding out, tell us more about underwriting and how that works for Beam. But also any of the other good questions you have now and following our webinar, reach out to your rep. If you're not sure who your rep is, we'll be sending that follow-up email out. Shoot us an email. We'll be happy to get you connected with someone on our sales team. They'll be your go-to person and point of contact expert on all things Beam and that kind of day-to-day needs. And
Sarah, could I add, I mean, just in general terms on the underwriting guidelines, I'll just add in general terms. So I will say we do not require a DE9C. So we go by the honor system. Of course, we do have parameters put in place to view those. But I will say from our voluntary participation is 20%, and then we go up beyond that. But we are pretty lenient. So let's have a conversation about that. We do view groups of over 80% will require 75% of those eligibles to enroll. So we'll get you documentation on that. But definitely, like I said, something that could be discussed as well offline. Thank you so much. All right. So great question coming in here from Tammy. She's having fairly good success in getting initial enrollment, but sometimes getting and keeping employees engaged or using the services and benefiting from all the perks you mentioned is harder. So I'd like to hand it back off to you, maybe to Carrie on this one, on just what a broker can do to keep employees engaged and keep them using their benefits.
Yeah, that's a great question and something that we have heard before. And in a way to address that, we have just recently launched a broker newsletter. Inside this monthly correspondence, we are giving away lots of great information about Beam and lots of great tips and tools for you to help connect with your clients and their members to make sure that they are utilizing their benefits. Really brief snippets to keep them engaged, to keep them connected, and just really easy little things to draw into. Then on another level is a great way for a broker to help keep their members engaged is to lean into your client success manager. Keep that relationship going. They can be your the tool in your back pocket to help you achieve the goals that you're looking to with your clients, and to give you that really personalized, high touch, white glove service to keep those plan participants engaged.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. So question on Lighthouse, right? We mentioned Lighthouse. Tell us what a broker can do on the site. Specifically, this person wanted to know, can an employee terminate their plan or add a spouse to their plan? Tell us the capabilities of Lighthouse and what a broker versus HR admin versus member could do on there.
Go ahead, Bryce.
Are you sure? All right.
Yeah.
I'll take this one. I believe in Lighthouse. I love Lighthouse. So Lighthouse, I mean, again, we do, like Carrie was saying, you could definitely leverage, your client success team if you like those processes. But once you get into Lighthouse, I'm talking from the broker side of things, extremely easy day-to-day price processes. So if you just need to pull something as simple as a plan summary or a certificate of coverage, it's right there at your fingertips. If you need to pull an active census, it's right there at your fingertips. If you need to add term and employee, make any qualifying event changes mid-year, right there at your fingertips. So pretty much any day-to-day process that you need, I mean, you could literally do it real time in 30 seconds or less, which I love. So really cool stuff. I mean, again, like I said, we have the people power, so we are here for you. But, sometimes you don't want to be waiting for an email back or some, you could just get it done real time. So if you haven't had a demo of Lighthouse, we encourage that you do that either with your client success manager or your market development, your salesperson, your market development executive. Yeah, we would love to do that for you.
Yeah, and just to add to that, we can do those walkthroughs not only for you all, but for your clients as well. So if you have a group admin that wants to be really involved, we can walk them through that and show them the functionalities that they have as well.
All right, great. Okay, so great question coming in as well about the enrollment team in general. So they said, tell me about your enrollment team. I think we could take this in a lot of different directions, but I want to hear from each of you. You know, if someone were to say, what's your enrollment team and why are they great? You know, tell me about that.
Yeah, I'll kind of kick it off since this is near and dear to my heart and very close to what I do. I'd obviously talk to them every day. From a personal side, they are wonderful humans. We have Kelly and Maddie and myself that work most of the deals that come through for open enrollment. So Maddie has been with Beam for a while. I think she's been with Beam for a couple of years. She actually started on our support side of the house. So she just has a wealth of knowledge of Beam and what members specifically go through, which I think is so helpful when you transition that into open enrollment, right? So when she talks to members, she can really understand what people go through once they have benefits. And sometimes she can get ahead of those questions and really is an expert in that area. Kelly is relatively new to our team, but has absolutely hit the ground running. Very engaging, amazing personality. I wish I had the cadence and presentation skills like she does. She really blows people's minds when she gets into her groove, and really excited that you all are engaging the enrollments team more frequently and that you all can have experiences with all of us. From a not personal level, just in general, who is our enrollments team? Obviously, we focus really heavily on open enrollment, right? Whether that's new business or renewal business, we are engaged. So we want to get in front of you. We want to get in front of the group admin and the members, whether that's through pre-recorded videos or office hours or on-site. We just provide a variety of things so that you guys can really benefit and capitalize on those benefits from us. I'll let Carrie and Ray speak to their perspective of our enrollments team, because I could probably talk for hours about this team.
Yeah, I'll chime in, Afton. I will just say, like, I like to think of the enrollments team as just this, like, these little group of ninjas. They come in, they do what they need to do, they engage all of the members, they answer questions, they give that white glove service, and then they're out. so they really partner with brokers and the group administrators and make sure that all of the plan participants know exactly what they're getting with their Beam benefits. That's that's their job and that's what they do. I will also echo what Afton said. Really fun humans, really great at their jobs. And I know that they would be a pleasure to work with for all of the brokers on this call and beyond.
Yeah, thanks, Carrie. I had a little something from a sales perspective. So when we talk about white glove service, I mean, that's everything full circle. From the sell is only the beginning of it. But then once we incorporate our client success team and of course our awesome enrollment specialist, which I have the pleasure of working with Maddie and Liz, who's on our team out here on the West Coast. And, you know, they've just been awesome to work with. Our brokers love them. Our members love them because they're actually, our enrollment specialists are engaged with the members. So it's just an awesome experience from that standpoint. And I just love, I actually received an email yesterday that we had an open enrollment 2 weeks ago. And the employee feedback was just how easy everything is. And again, I've said this, I think maybe the 7th time, engagement and communication. That's what it comes down to. And I think that's what our enrollment team does great at.
Yeah, I'll just one more thing to add, Ray. Like, I think that's one of the things that this team is really good at is taking that, you know, the complex industry of insurance and making sure that people understand it. They're able to take the written word and articulate it to members and answer questions when they're needed. It's a really phenomenal service, and they do a great job. The feedback doesn't lie, and neither do the numbers.
Yes, and yep, you saw those case studies, you saw the numbers. It's really proven to be a successful approach for us at Beam, and we're here to support you see those same numbers come busy season, come 1/1 open enrollment when you have a lot of your groups renewing. All right, I think those are, oh, we got another question coming in. Okay, great. So, and if I've seen a couple hands raised, if you have any questions that come up, toss us in the chat. This will be our last question for today, but we'll see all the questions that have come through. If we haven't answered them, we'll follow up. We have your contact info as well, so don't worry about that. So last question, during enrollment, can employees call, like what are the hours that they can call our support team? What should they expect when they give us a call and when they're needing to make a decision?
Yeah. So I think what is being asked here is, can they call and get in contact with one of our enrollment specialists? So our support team is always available, member support. They handle more questions about like active coverage, not necessarily when a member is trying to make a decision. But this is part of that discovery process that we talked about earlier, right at the beginning when we meet with you in the group admin, and by we, I mean your Beam team. One of the things the enrollment specialist is going to ask is, what would you like out of your open enrollment experience, right? And one of those options is what we call office hours. So we can set up dedicated time. Let's say you're planning on meeting with a group at a specific day from 9 to noon or something like that. We can make sure that we have an enrollment specialist available. We'll give you a direct line to that enrollment specialist, and they can answer questions on what the coverage looks like and what may be a better choice for me. Let's say it's a dual option. Should I go with the lower plan or the higher plan, and what are the differences? And we know that can be super confusing. But obviously in general, our support team is there to help. And then we can set expectations about office hours from an enrollment specialist point of view. But email is, always there. So you can email us. Like I said, our enrollment specialists get to it very, very quickly. So you'll probably get a super quick response from them. Yeah. Anything else to add there, Ray or Carrie? I think I got it all.
I think that was right on.
Perfect.
Great answer. Okay, so those are the last of our questions for today. Again, if there are any that came through the Q&A we did not get to because you all had so many great questions, we'll be sure to follow up afterwards as well. Really want you to take away that Beam is here to support you through this enrollments process, through busy season. And we'll be there every step of the way. And we have self-service tools, so members and HR admins can self-service, but we know brokers also like to be really hands-on. So if that's your approach as well, we're here to work with you as well. So we have a little bit of everything for everybody. And we want to see you again at our next webinar. And I will share a little about that. It'll be September 28th. I'll make sure to send out the registration link to you all in our follow-up email. And it'll really be, we'll touch on enrollments like we did today, but then we'll deep dive into exactly what our support team does for HR admins, members, brokers, between the sale and then all the way through the life cycle of the group. So really great webinar coming up for you September 28th. We'd love to see you there. Again, a big thank you to our wonderful panelists. I'm so glad you could all join today, and we'll see you all soon.